100,000 Vermonters and several 100,000 Americans who understand that global warming is real, that it is already causing devastating problems in the United States and around the world, that it will only get worse if we do not act aggressively to cut carbon and transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. This is a huge issue. It's a planetary crisis. We've got to act, and we have to act boldly.
One of the signs and one of the mantras here is we need system change, not climate change. What does that mean to you?
Well, of course you need climate change. I mean, the scientific community tells us we have a narrow opportunity to move. You have to do that. But you also have to change the system because, I mean, among many other things, one of the reasons that we have virtually no Republican in Congress who even acknowledges the reality of climate change is because of the role of money in politics. So we're not going to change politics in America unless we, deal with the Koch brothers and the other billionaires who are now trying to buy elections. Furthermore, if we live in a society which is based on simply purchasing, consumering, more and more development without understanding sustainability, you have long-term problems.
How do you deal with money in politics?
Well, first of all, you do is overturn this disastrous Supreme Court decision called Citizens United, which gave a green light to the Koch brothers and the other billionaires to buy elections. The second thing that
How do you overturn it?
Through a strong grassroots movement. We had a vote a week ago, which the media forgot to cover. New York Times didn't cover it at all, in which every single Republican voted against allowing us to proceed to a constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United. So that's number one. That's what you have to do. Number two, what you have to do, in my view, is move toward public funding of elections. I think it is just not appropriate that people who have the money or the support of people who have the money can buy elections.
The issue of whether you will run for president and what that means for a presidential candidate to be here at the climate march. Number one, will you be running for president?
Well, number one, I would be here no matter what my thoughts were. This is an issue I've been involved in for many, many, many years. It's no secret I'm giving thought to the possibility of running for president, getting around the country a little bit, but that decision is not going to be made for a little while.
Attending an event last night where you were speaking, the question of whether you would be running as a third-party candidate or as a Democratic Party candidate for president.
Well, that's something also. There are advantages and disadvantages of going both routes. Very difficult. On one hand, there is a lot of unhappiness with the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. More and more people are looking to alternatives, looking to become independents. On the other hand, from a practical point of view, putting together a 50-state independent political infrastructure, that ain't so easy either. So that's one of the issues that I'm looking at. But mostly here today, I am just delighted that we're going to have hundreds of thousands of people who say enough is enough. We've got to begin the process of reversing global warming.
Do you think President Obama is doing enough around the issue of climate change?
I mean, I think he is trying. I wouldn't say that he's doing enough. He can and should do more. But the major impediment right now is not Obama. It is the Republican Party, and we've got to call them out on this, and we don't do it enough. These are people who do not even acknowledge the scientific reality because they're beholden to big energy money and the Koch brothers. That's where we have to be focused.
If you were president, what would you do about climate change?
We would move very aggressively to transform our energy system, and we could do this, Amy. There is unbelievable opportunity in terms of weatherization and energy efficiency. The technology is there now for massive efforts in terms of solar, wind, geothermal, biomass done properly. We could do it. We really could do it. And clearly this is a global problem, not just an American problem. What we could do in the United States is provide the technology and the support working with other countries around the world. But this is a crisis. We've got to address it.